Hi, everyone. So today I am speaking with Kimberly Braun, and she is the panelist, coordinator, and mentor for the IANDS Conference, International Association of Near-Death Studies. And I am so excited. I will be attending this year and be giving all of you content on our Instagram and TikTok. This is my second year attending, and it is absolutely life-changing. I have not had an NDE myself, so you do not have to have had an NDE to go there, but you meet many experiencers and you meet researchers, and it's really wonderful place. It helped me gather and add to my preponderance of evidence that there really is an afterlife. So it will be a wonderful experience if any of you can make it. So thank you, Kimberly. Tell us a little bit about the conference.
Absolutely. So, IANDS, and I'm guessing you're probably familiar since Liz has had other interviews. It is a one of a kind membership organization. It's the only one that exists in the world that is internationally both a research place, a resource place, and a experiencer place. So there are local groups, there's the annual conference, there's a research fund that happens, there's a journal that they provide some of the fruits of the research, there are articles, and so much more. But it's literally the only one. And I agree with you, Liz, that the conference itself is incredible on the heart and soul level. Everyone that is there for the reasons of why are we here in this world? What is this world about? And how is this world, as we define it, part of something larger? And everyone there has had a different experience. You get a wide variety of perspectives. The presenters themselves are usually, as they fit in three categories, most of them, not all. Near-death experience, which is called NDE, spiritually transformative experience, which is called an STE, and out-of-body experience, which is called an OBE. So these individuals that present, and I'm blessed to be among them again, will share not only their experience, but how all their life is changed and continues to change, affected by these experiences. Powerful conference, worthy of your time. And you'll walk away just like Liz and me, you'll walk away really charged about life, really filled with hope, especially when the world seems more and more polarized and confused and challenged on climate levels, on social levels, on political levels. We can have a lot of discouragement if we only look at things from that perspective. So IANDS gives you a chance to step into the larger perspective that is really what life is about. And it's been around since 1978, which is crazy, right?
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. I don't think I knew that. So it's really one of the staple organizations.
Right. And it continues to grow. And it started out to study scientifically. And part of what that allows us to do is demystify our understanding of reality. Reality can sometimes be positioned in material and immaterial, right? Of this world, not of this world. And when we put our focus on it, science is one direction we can go. When we put our focus on it, we discover that it's really much more of a dotted line than it is a hard, fast differentiation. So I love that it started from a place of study and now has emerged from a place where everyone is welcome to share and examine their experiences.
And there were some really kind of big names there too. Last year, I got to meet, excuse my little bit of name dropping, but Dr. Bruce Grayson, which for me was really exciting. So pretty big scientists are involved too. And it's very serious. I mean, along with the spiritual component, it's very evidence-based too and research-based.
I know, isn't that great? It's great. Everyone finds a place at the table and can come with their unique types of questions and look for answers in those unique ways, strictly scientifically, physics oriented, right? Sociologically, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And when we pool all those perspectives all together at a very dynamic conference, it's inevitable that all those parts within yourself are going to be touched by that in some encouraging way.
And so, what are some of the panels or speakers that people will be able to hear this time? I mean, I'm sure there's so many. We can begin to touch upon all of them, but what are a couple? Our audience tends to be a little more skeptical and science minded and coping with grief. So, what are some of the
Mhm.
groups that are the speakers they might be excited to hear or panels?
Sure. And so, you who are listening, I encourage you to go to the link to the conference, which is conference.iands.org. And the lineup for the speakers is presented there really in a very clear way. Super, super well done. Super well done. But I am going to share with you a couple individuals. First of all, there's Nancy Rains. And Nancy, you'll be encouraged and find this exciting. She's a geoscientist and an archaeologist. And she is an NDEer. She is a remote viewer. She works with regressions and she's an energy healer. So she is walking in all these different worlds. And she's going to be speaking about how her NDE has influenced all her life and how nature, the nature we can look at, the trees and the ground, and everything having to do with the world we're in, how that's a very important ingredient when we talk about the other life or afterlife or world beyond this world. So she's one of them, one of the, I think, a keynote. And another one is Anita Morjani. And Anita was dying of cancer. And in that experience of dying of cancer, she also had a near death experience where she's not only healed, but now she travels all around the world to help people understand there's nothing to be afraid of. And even in life threatening trials like this, that there is a world of connection and support that is beyond what you could possibly imagine. And her book that she's renowned for, which is really a cute title, is called Dying to Be Me. So I thought that's
Yes,
great. Isn't that great? And since I'm working with the
that is
panelists,
smart. Yes.
I know, since I'm working with the panelists, I can name a couple of the panel titles. So we grouped them into themes this year. Trauma panel. So those that have experienced trauma, loss of a loved one fits right in that category. How NDEs, STEs, and OBEs changed their life purpose. After effects of an NDE and family dynamics. Special abilities is another panel on mediumship. Another special abilities is on healing. There'll be, if you're in the healthcare industry, there's going to be a whole panel devoted to healthcare on all sides of looking at that. And then we've got the multi dimensions as well, and themes such as reincarnation. One of the NDErs is going to share all of the reincarnation experience that he experienced. So they're juicy. But if you look at the schedule, you'll see there's scientific oriented panels as well. What those would be is that they would be the presentation of the fruit of the research that these particular scientists have found when they've been studying NDEs and similar experiences. So you're going to get inspired and you're going to get educated and you're going to find yourself in a community that is aware that we are all connected as human beings, that we are really all family. We're meant to all be family. And in a world that finds that hard to realize, you will experience it at IANDS.
Oh my God. Yes. I came away, and as everyone knows, I am not by any means the most spiritual person. And I was instantly accepted as the more skeptical researcher, no matter what. So no matter where you're at, everyone's accepting. I walked away with friends I still talk to today. In fact, one of them, Amber Kasich, who has been on this podcast, she and I are going to be doing a presentation as well at the conference. It'd be so nice to see some of all of you who listen and support. And also, there's the lunches. You get to have, there's an option to get lunch at a small intimate table with one of the speakers. You can choose among some of the speakers. I know some have sold out and some are still available, and there'll be about 6 people at the table. So that's a chance to really get to have some deeper personal conversations too with some of the speakers.
Yeah, and that shines a light on something that IANDS values very deeply, and that is that we have the space and the time to draw close. Oftentimes at a conference, you can go and they're always really powerful, right? But you can go and the activity can be so driven and fast and full that there's no time to really just kind of exhale. And IANDS has worked really hard, especially this year as it continues to grow, to provide space. So those intimate lunches is one way, right? To be able to drop in so that, let's say you connected very deeply with one of these speakers, but you're in a long line of 40 people that wants to give a quick handshake or say hello. You don't really get a chance to share your heart or to maybe connect on a mutual experience or share a question that's really been weighing on your mind. And these lunches give you a chance to have that slow dialogue. There's a lot of that woven in. There's also going to be a lot of musical experiences and integration rooms. And I think we're even going to have a very fun dance as well. So just know that when you come, it's truly like a deep community sharing event. I know I've used those words a couple times now, but I think that's so true and worth repeating.
And one little thing I will say, since you mentioned the dance party, is everyone told me beforehand that there's a really intense energy in the room. And as happened here, and as has happened with almost every NDEer I've interviewed, the technology has gone out and glitched in some way. Dr. Janice Holden, who's been a guest on this podcast, said that she could tell who had near-death experiences by who was wearing a watch or not, because watches go out. And I mean, obviously that doesn't apply the same way today, because I don't know anyone in my generation who wears a watch because we've got our smartphones, but that still backs up the theory. And when I went to the dance party, it was the last night, I was exhausted. And one of the people involved with IANDS, Betty Giordano, I hope I did not butcher her last name, said, everyone, isn't this amazing? Everyone here died so they could come together and dance together. And I was so moved by that. I was like, I have to get up and dance. And I have never felt the level of energies start to pour through me. Dancing, I've never experienced anything like this. I don't quite have the words, but it was like these intense energetic waves of like vibration and joy going through me. And I was so energized. It was one of the most fun dance parties I've ever had. And I was like, okay, I know what people mean by this energy. It almost felt like a physical, tangible, buzzing substance. It just poured me with so much energy. And I'm not the kind of person who can really feel energies. So that was an amazing experience.
Wow, love that. Love that. So if you're listening to this, come join us. Come join the party. The conference is a party. Come join the party.
And why don't you tell everyone where it is, when it is, and how they can get tickets?
Sure. So it is in Phoenix, Arizona, and the dates are August 28th through September 1st. Thursday is a pre-conference add-on, so the conference is technically Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you can get tickets at the website conference.iands.org. And just as a note, there's always member specials. So being a member of IANDS is very inexpensive. And if you sign up to be an annual member, you're automatically claused into webinars, new research, new media, special events, local group, and a whole array of other things. So you automatically receive all that, which probably after the conference, you may want to receive all of that. And joining as a member gets you a discount. So it's like you don't even pay for the membership. Conference.iands.org. And make sure to say hi to me, Kimberly Braun, if you do come by way of this ad. And I would love to give you a big hug.